and my friend Glenn Campbell with a fine instrument.
This is Bigfoot country.
He's kicking it old school.
When Charley Pride arrived in Belfast, Northern Ireland, in early November of 1976, the Northern Irish capital was at war. There were almost daily reports of shootings of civilians and soldiers on both sides of the sectarian divide. An armistice movement, the Peace People, had materialized that summer after 3 children were fatally struck by an IRA getaway car. Someone else intent on restoring normality to Belfast during the bloody 70s was Jim Aiken. This enterprising former schoolteacher turned concert promoter wanted to turn Northern Ireland into a second home for American country music. And rightfully so, since the Ulster Scots folk tradition was an essential ancestor of the genre. Aiken had invited over artists like Buck Owens and Tex Ritter. Next, he had his heart set on Pride, the singer who found success as a black artist in a roots genre that had come to be dominated by white artists. Country music was ascendant, and Pride was one of its poster children. Born to sharecroppers in rural Mississippi, he hit the U.S. charts with a string of #1 albums. He was the American dream incarnate. The rest of the world was taking note. His residency at Belfast Ritz Cinema quickly sold out. But there were doubts that Pride would manage to get there. Though Aiken had booked big names throughout the 60s, an unspoken ban on foreign performers had been tightened since the emergence of the provisional IRA in 1969. No-shows became common. Johnny Cash's cancellation of an Ulster Hall appearance in 1971 was a prominent example. However, when the day came, Pride delivered. The impact of Pride's appearances in Belfast endured long after the artist had flown home. Odes to "My incomparable Charley Pride" appeared in the Belfast papers. Radio stations held Pride-themed sweepstakes with his records as prizes. Out of this Prideomania emerged an anomaly in country music. His version of Crystal Chandeliers, a mid-tempo heartbreak shuffle recorded by Pride in 1967, had never charted in the U.S. Nearly a decade after its original release, it found new life as a Northern Irish unity anthem, echoing how the Northern Ireland civil rights movement of the 60s borrowed the protest song "We Shall Overcome" and studied the marches of Dr. Martin Luther King.